Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to cover quickly the options to make a layout for a form view on Odoo. So I'm going to show you how Odoo builds their own forms and how you can make your custom ones look, well, just as good as theirs. So the most basic element is that it's in a form block, which is pretty standard. But then how Odoo does it is that it has a sheet block, which is going to add already quite a few styling elements, like for instance the padding, which separates it from the header and the border here. And it's also already reserves the space for the chatter if you were to add it. So in here I didn't, but you see that it's still reserving the space for it. Um, in here you see that they often also use Bootstrap classes to style these. So for instance, the name of the entry in that form view is an H1 block inside a div, and that div has the OE title class, which styles it like this with the label on top and placed like this in terms of padding and stuff. So this is not crucial, but this helps you achieve the same look as the standard form from Odoo. Then the other key element to make your forms and to structure it properly is the group blocks. So you can have several levels of group, obviously, and each sub-level inside, each nested level, I would say, is going to split the reserved space equally between the number of groups you have. So for instance, here we have one parent group and then two child groups. And this means that it's reserving 50% of the space for each group. So this is how it looks here. Um, and then you also have, and that's really important, the notebook block, which is going to define, well, this looks, which is displayed just like a notebook section. And in this section, they have pages, and this is how you define the actual tabs. So for here, I've created a notebook, which is defining the space, and inside this, we're creating the different tabs with the page. And this allows you to just switch between the tabs. Okay, so this is just a basic way of making the layout for this. Then we have the option of making a form view without the sheet block, and that means that it's going to be full width. So you see, it's not reserving the space for the shadow anymore, and it's not adding the outline or the padding or the margins and stuff. This can be useful in some cases, but most of the time this won't be what you're after. But I figured I still had to show it to you. In here, for instance, we didn't have any notebook or pages. So here the note is just in its own group. Naming the group means that the name is shown like this. That's because it's styled in Odoo's CSS code. So pretty useful because it's going to be easier to like make a structure and make it clear. So this is a form view when you don't have any sheet, so full width. And then for the way of structuring further, I just wanted to show you the options when you're using groups and you're embedding them or not. So for instance, this is just a single group, and so it's taking the whole space, like the full width, to show those three fields. So you'll see that it's stretching all the way there. This is just like I showed you in the other one. So you have two nested groups inside a parent group, and this shares the remaining space between the number of groups that you have. So as I said, you do have the two ones here. And then the other option, which is pretty useful as well, I think, is having a group, but then style the field inside the group with the bootstrap class O underscore row, which means that it's going to align them in a row instead of on top of each other like they would normally. So if we didn't specify anything, phone would be right underneath email, but because we specified this class, it's adding the styling to make them actually horizontal and inline. So this is fairly simple, but I think it's still really powerful and something you do have to know. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You do have other options to display to display images and stuff, but this is again just a matter of looking how Odoo does it and applying the same Bootstrap class that they do. So for instance, for product images, I know that they apply just a single Bootstrap class and that places it right. But yeah, I think I've showed you already the whole toolbox that you have to play with to make your form layout. So hope it's useful for you and see you soon for the next video. Bye.